Hello everybody, I'm Normulator, and this is Cities Skylines. Welcome in everybody to episode 2 of our Farewell City. It's wonderful to have you here, and I want to thank you for joining me. On today's episode, we're going to be building our first farm. And we're going to be building our first orchard. Also, we're going to need lots of people eager to work in our booming agriculture industry, so we'll be expanding our neighborhoods and adding plenty of new housing. Plus, I've got some new assets that I think will fit in really well with our little village, and will make this place look even more authentic. Finally, at the end of the episode, I'm going to be naming some things in response to viewer comments, and you're going to want to stick around for that as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, the first thing many of you are probably noticing as we start episode 2 is that the game looks a lot different from what it did in episode 1. And if you were thinking that, then you'd be right. I made a number of tweaks to the visual mods that I was already using, and added a few more on top of that to bring the realism of our city to the next level. And I have to say, I think I did a pretty good job of capturing the look and feel that I was going for. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the changes, and if you have any suggestions for improvement. So please feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider hitting that like button and helping me reach as many Cities Skylines fans on YouTube as possible. With that said, let's not waste any more time and get right down to business. First, I want to give you a couple updates on what I did to prepare for today's episode. And primarily, what I did was I purchased a new section. Let me get out of here. I purchased a section right here so that we can expand our farming. And I also built some roads here, as you can see, to kind of lay the groundwork for where the farms will exist. Now, what I also wanted to do with these new roads is provide some sort of dimension to the city, so that we would be able to have a little bit of a breakup of the traditional grid. Now, we obviously want to keep things fairly well gridded out because that's traditional and it's to be expected. But having some roads like this will break up the consistency of it and allow us to have a little bit better feel to the city. So I think that's going to work out really well for us as we expand this way. Now we do have this road coming in here. This is going to be the main road that the farming starts on, and it connects up to the roads out here. So that's going to make things a little bit easier. Probably reduce traffic in this direction. Allow that farming business to work in this direction, which should be pretty good. Also, you can see here I did corner off some area in order to make sure that we have plenty of room to expand our high school as we grow the city. Which I think is good size, and then we'll just continue to grow our residential neighborhoods here and certainly over here as well. And I just noticed, let me just get rid of this. Don't know how that ended up over there, but don't need that at the moment. So this is where we were, at least as far as what we had. Now, I also, one last thing is I did let the game run a little bit as I was setting up the roads and kind of planning out in my head things I wanted to do for this episode. Because we're going to need a lot of money to set up what I want to set up. And I didn't want to be sitting around waiting for, hours in between each thing I wanted to do, just trying to get the money. So the one thing that I did there. Now, I think before anything else, we need people. We got lots of residential demand. So what I want to do is I want to start by just building some roads. And there we go. And I want to just build out some roads. Oops. Well, that's a little bit unusual. I'm just going to ignore that for a minute. I think that's from at the very beginning when we set things up. I adjusted the heights of this and it's got a little bit of an issue, but we'll just ignore that for now. So we're just going to let these roads run down here, and I'm just going to zone out some housing. And if I'm not mistaken, we can just go like this and like this. Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to zone this out like this. We can start getting some people brought into the city. Also, let me do the same thing over here. yeah, I've got a medical clinic. Actually, that's the next thing I want to do after we get some of the zoning done. Is I have a couple buildings, like I mentioned there earlier, that I want to bring in. I have a medical clinic and a police station. I think are going to fit our feel. Fit our feel? Is that a thing? We got a couple buildings that I think are going to fit the city and our aesthetic a little bit better. So we're going to do those replacements. That's some pretty good zoning there for now. Let me just do one more here. There's no point in messing around with this. Let's just go ahead and grab that as well. And then let's go over here and we'll take a look at our police station. Now, obviously, this thing, we threw it down because it was kind of the only option we had at the time. But we really like the look of this this got farms on the brain, of this fire station. And I wanted to replace this. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to bulldoze this bad boy. Get 15,000 out of the deal. But we're going to have to replace it. And we're going to replace it with... let's find it here. It is... it's a rural, police rural station. So I'm gonna throw this down across the street and let's take a look at it. I didn't check, but I wonder if these were even made by the same person. Maybe they were. They certainly feel good together, right? This is really good, and we'll be able to do some detailing and set this up a little better. We got the passage through here. We do some parking and set these up. We'll make these look a lot better at some time in the future, not too far out. But for now, I think that feels a lot better for our local fire station. And I'm really happy that we've got that. So we can unpause it there and let things go. Here's all the people that were working at the old police station. Hopefully they can get jobs at the new one. You know, submit your resume and we'll do the best we can for you. It's really getting busy. We might, a lot of parking. We're going to have a lot of things to work on, but people just walking all over the place, making this place more pedestrian friendly, I think is certainly something to do in the near future as well. And setting up better roads and things as well is also going to be key. Now, that's water pipes. Water pipes. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's bring this guy. Oh, got a little bit. Put the water pipes under the roads. Do something like that for now. And that one's pretty good there. So we're okay there. The other thing I had is I had another building here. I'm going to pause that. And we're going to... Actually, no, we can't unpause it. We're going to pause it again because we need to bulldoze this clinic. I apologize, everybody. Probably people in there getting taken care of, and they got to boot them out. But hopefully they'll be okay because we do have another option here that I think you're going to like. It's called a small clinic, and it's really small. It's really, really small. But I like the look of it. I'm going to place it down there. It's quaint, and it looks typical for a place this size, And as this city grows, or this town, village, whatever you want to call it, as it does grow, we'll be able to build a bigger, like kind of a doctor's office or something like that that can service, a city of 5,000 or 10,000 people. But for now, for a city of a couple thousand people, anything more than a place this size, God, I really like the way this looks as well. It really feels like it fits, For a place this size, a doctor, a nurse, a couple assistants or something like that is just about all you're going to need. And, you go in there when you got a runny nose or something to take care of. You certainly don't need that many people. And honestly, like, when you're talking about a place this size, 1,000, 2,000 people, they'd generally be in proximity to... Are we having an issue with our... No. Why aren't these... We have pipes, right? Yeah, okay. Wait. Oh, wait. Just a second. No, we don't. So I have been having issues lately with sometimes... Yeah, you gotta make sure you hear that ding. With roads and... This node's not connecting with roads and water pipes. Sometimes they just don't connect. You really gotta be deliberate. I'm not sure if it's a mod that I have that's kind of working that. But anyway, we'll figure that out. Now, I did want to make sure... here we go. We want to make sure that this is covered. We can actually even just come out here like this. Come all the way down like that. And... The heck with it. We'll just... I mean, it doesn't really matter. This space is going to be huge. Let's just make it really big. For now, make sure we don't miss anything and forget about it. In the future, same thing over here. We can just sure that's plenty big there. Now, next, I want to... What was I going to do? We've got those in there. We've got residential. I guess the biggest thing now is I want to start... Oh, that's the other one. That's the other one. I knew there was one more thing. Is death care. We didn't have death care yet, and I think it's important to get that in here before we have too many dead bodies laying around. So we're going to come in here, and we're just going to get the cemetery, I think. Is it... Wait, is this where it is? Maybe we don't have it yet. Just a second. I thought we needed... Oh, maybe it's... Oh, is it the next... Oh, that's right, too. I'll be alright. I think it's the next. In the next opening, we get to... Oh my god, scroll. Next we get to cemetery. Okay, that's right, too. I was trying to go through a checklist in my head of all the things we needed to do when I was getting ready for this episode. And I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have a cemetery yet. But we don't actually even need it yet, so that's fine. So what I would like to do is I'd like to start laying out the roads for what we're going to need to build our farms and our orchards. So let's go ahead. First thing I want to do is I want to introduce you to a new road. People meet new road. I believe this is it here, big roads. And I just want to show you what it looks like here. And this is it here. And I really like the look of it. Compared to this just, yeah, I just really like the look of this. So this is the road we're going to be using going forward in our farming area. Boom. There we go. So everything going north, in fact, even potentially, you can see here, the one thing that you're going to, is it has a really weird, like, transition to other roads. And so you need it to really kind of connect to other paved roads, if you will. So what I'll end up doing is, maybe I'll just connect it here. We'll upgrade some of these roads into something more fitting. And like as far as like paved roads, and then it'll look a little bit more natural. We need to upgrade to paved roads at some point soon anyway, so we'll get around to that very shortly. Now, let's take a look. The next thing I want to do is I wanted to just lay out the idea of what we needed to do. So if we go like this, I just want to bring this road all the way out here. Just like that, okay? And that's kind of a continuous road. I mean, it's obviously going to have to stop. Maybe it'll turn up this way or something like that. But yeah, that's the main drag for all the farming. And the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure we continue this road right here all the way through. So I don't want this road to be stopped by the existence of Eating Farms. So what I'm going to do is have this road continue straight through here, like that. And that, honestly, that road can just go on for as long as you want. As long as it says 180 degrees. There we go. That's good. Just like that. So this is what this is going to do also is it's going to give us a little bit of some additional angles that we can work with. And it will allow our farms to not just be completely squared off blocks. It'll give us a little bit of creativity to allow the farms to grow in a more natural way. Now what I want to do is we're going to plot off some spaces, and each plot will be, will represent, I guess if you want to think about it this way, you could think of it as a plot of land that could be purchased by an individual, an entrepreneurial type who wants to start a family farm. And so each section will kind of represent that and be kind of a standard size and a size that will fit well into a realistic size farm. So let me dive in here and start to place down the roads we need to do that. Okay, so it took me a little while to make decisions on exactly how I wanted to lay these out. I decided on the number 40 for a lot of these. So a lot of these lengths are 40. And even like out here, I wanted to try and do 40 into 40, but on a bend. We're going to need to purchase this extra section over here to be able to accomplish that. So that'll be something we'll have to do when we're actually able to purchase it. But I think this is pretty good. And I like that we've got some unusual shapes to work with. And I'm happy about that. We're probably going to do a farm here and an orchard here and use those unusual spaces right out of the gate to our liking. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to establish a farming industry. And that means we need to come in here to the industry section and go to farming. Actually, you know what we need to do? We need to paint it first, don't we? Yes. So we need to go paint industry area. And you can see here we got lots and lots of really fertile land. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint this. Now, that will allow us to come into the industry, and we'll throw a farm down here. And I want to put it, I don't know, something maybe like this is good enough. And just like that, we've unlocked a bunch of things. And just so that we can start to get a little bit of things happening, I'm just going to throw down, like, I don't know. Whoops, that's not what I want. I want this. Is that overlapping? There we go. I'm just going to throw down, like, I don't know, maybe 4 of these. And let's just go with the wheat, I guess. Now you're going to see I do have some mods that provide us... Oh, we're going to need water as well. In fact, let me go ahead and throw water down. There we go. That'll get us started anyway, and we'll have to fill these in. Once we have roads and stuff, we'll fill these in as we need. And yeah, let me just speed up the simulation a bit as well, just to make sure that these are starting to help us with our industry area info. We need lots more workers, so this is just a start. I do have an industry balancing mod to make it so that it's not too crazy. So we actually have 1 worker on each of these fields right here. Which is more sensical, you know, like, I think in the regular game it's like 4 or 5 on each field, and it's just like, there's so many jobs, it's kind of crazy, and we're going to have a ton of stuff, so we're not going to want to have 1 billion jobs in the farming industry. Just not going to feel realistic. So with this getting started here, what I'd like to do is dive in and start to lay out our first farm, and then take a look at what it's going to be looking like. Okay, so I think that provides us with some fields, to say the least. And then what we're going to be able to do is, I like the idea of this being the kind of the, you know, the main house, and some farming, you know, the farms and the equipment and all the storage stuff like that. Maybe we can mix in a couple of other fields or something like that as well. We'll kind of see how this evolves as we go. I thought that maybe we'd be able to get 5 of these in here, but I actually don't mind this. Provides a little bit of variety. Provides us with some options. I'm wondering, we could even do something like this. Just a sec. What is this? I don't know. We could even do like vegetable fields down here. I don't mind that. It's a little bit different, right? A little bit different of a makeup. We might do that. Okay, so we have finally reached the next level of our farming industry, opening up a bunch of new buildings for us here. Let's go ahead and say okay to that. Let's pause it up. Giving a quick update of where we're at. I've got a rough idea of where we're at. A couple more buildings at least that are going to be required. Maybe some storage along the back here. I think I found some buildings that kind of mix in pretty well. Some kind of more rustic, historic buildings that maybe been around a while. Maybe some stuff a little bit more modern and new. Obviously some modern processing kind of appearances there as well. We went with a couple of pastures, which we can do some work on. Went with the retention pond over here, which is kind of coming along okay. The water, I want the water to come up a little bit higher, but for whatever reason, it's not quite coming up as high as I want it to. So maybe we'll play around with that, but it looks pretty good. So there you go. Now, what we need to do is we need more people, obviously, and I need to get in some more. Oh, sick. What's happening? Hello? Does this not provide... Oh, God, everybody's sick. The heck? Now, we did have an issue with garbage, and I had to add in some more garbage processing. Is the budget okay? We can crank that up a little bit. Power is okay. I'm not sure if garbage is something extra garbage. Citizens are feeling ill because the ground is polluted. Remove polluted buildings nearby or offer more health care. Alrighty. So, I think I figured it out. And the issue was just not enough beds. One thing I didn't really consider very well is that this small clinic, as much as I love the look of it and as much as I feel like it really fits extremely well with the community and what the needs would be of a place this size, that's not Cities Skylines things. They want much more capacity. City of 2000, they want the capacity of 100, which seems a little bit crazy. But, I mean, hey, if 5% of if your citizens are going to be in the hospital at any given time, then there you go. So we ended up having to crank it up. What I did was I actually placed 4 of these. I placed a second one underneath here, and then I placed 2, one right on top of another right here as well, to give us the equivalent capacity of one of the regular clinics that you would see in here, one of the vanilla type clinics here. You can see with 100 capacity. It's going to cost us a little bit more money because we got 500 upkeep for one of those, and the upkeep on one of these is $1.50, so that's 600 per. But we're going to live with it, and we're going to be happy about it because we can see the coverage is starting to pick itself back up again and look pretty well. And the sick faces are gone, and that's good. So I did a little bit more residential zoning. I'm going to continue to do more of that. Let's put in some more roads. Create some more space for zoning down here. We're gonna go like this. I'm just zoning in a little bit different, like 3x4, so it's not all just 4x4s. I want to get a little bit of variety in the kind of stuff. Same thing here. I've created some 2x2s over this way. Gonna need some pipe. Whoa! We're gonna need some pipage. No need to get angry. So like I said, I'm kind of happy with where this is going, where this is heading. We have a lot more work to do. Got a lot of detailing and stuff to do. I can slow this down. I had it split up to 3. Whoops. Yep, there we go. I had to split up to 3 to try and get rid of the side faces, make sure my solution was actually working. But yeah, I'm gonna continue with the detailing work and see where we come out in the end.
Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No, 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 no. Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No, 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 no. Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No, 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 no. Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No, 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 no. Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No, 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 no. Other day I said I don't wanna go. I didn't listen to you. No,
So I think we're going to call the farm done for today, folks. And I think it's looking pretty good. I am quite impressed with the work we've done here. Now, a couple things, maybe a little bit more detailing around the main house here. Maybe a couple tweaks I might make if I was being real picky. But overall, I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I do have one question for you guys. Let me know in the comments. Did I overdo the detailing on the retention pond? Is it too much? Just enough? I don't know. I like it, but maybe it's too much. You guys let me know. Farms looks good, and it's time to move on to the orchard. But before we do that, we have a problem to solve. And that problem is this little green bar down here. We have got to do a bunch of things and a bunch of stuff with regards to the housing in this place. So we're going to make some roads, and we're going to do some zoning. Okay, there you go. So, a bunch more zoning done. I think I'm going to leave this for a park. Next, we're going to have to start heading south here, but that's pretty good. That'll get the ball rolling. Now it's time to get working on the orchard. We're going to start by building the roads inside here. Focus on trying to get the functional buildings on the inside, surrounded by the orchard on the outside. Perhaps we'll start here. So let me get some roads done. Alrighty, so the roads are done, and I think I like the way they're laid out. We've got plenty of room around the edges to do lots of orchards. We'll set up the farm buildings and stuff like that in the middle, and I think things will turn out pretty well. So let's do that and get ourselves some orchards and buildings. Alright, I think we're going to call that enough detailing for today on the orchard. I like the nice clean look. I think it's looking pretty good. Over here, I think I'm going to leave this open for this episode. I have an idea of what I want to do here, but I might need to go get some assets for it. I'm curious if you guys have any ideas for it as well. I want to leave this as kind of a touristy area, potentially a little visitor space where, you know, you can come get some food, play some games. You know, you see that at orchards sometimes. We'll have like petting zoos or games and stuff you can play. Obviously, you can go on little tours of the orchard. You can pick your own fruit, stuff like that. So I'm kind of curious about setting this up like that, but I need a little bit of inspiration and a few assets to maybe make that work. So this is probably going to be left mostly empty for this episode. But let's jump in and polish things off. Alright, so the trees and the fencing are just about where I want them at, and looking pretty nice if I do say so myself. One thing I want to do before we tackle the house is we want to come back over here and do a little bit more of the spamming of the residential, because holy cow, no matter what we do, we can't seem to make it happen. It's time to tackle the house. Let's jump right in. Alrighty, well, I'm going to call this the end of the detailing of the house for now. It took me forever to find the pieces that I wanted, and I still haven't found everything I'd like to, but it's as good as it's going to get for now. I hope you guys like it. I like the way this looks. The pool looks really nice. Maybe a little bit more detailing, some more flower. I gotta find some flower bed stuff that I like to fill out that. There's a lot more stuff I want to do in this, but it's the beginning of the house being done. And with that, I think we're going to call the orchard done for the day. And I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's looking pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, before we call it a wrap on episode 2, we've got a couple pieces of business to take care of. First thing I'd like to do is take a look at our residential project here, and we have a little bit more zoning to do to wrap it up. So I'm just going to spam some stuff in here like this. So we got a couple over here. Just put those in there also. And there you go. With all that hard work, we still have not put a dent in the residential demand. So I guess we're going to have more housing development in the next episode as well. Because the only thing left to do today is name a couple of streets and maybe a district. Now, first, we have Pete, who commented, "Just found your videos. Pete, great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Nice start to the city. For the main arterial road you have running through the city and eventually toward the downtown, as the city is called Farewell City. How about you have Sunset Boulevard? Pete, this is an absolutely fantastic job of bringing in the comments. I love it. It's called Sunset Boulevard from here and for eternity. I love it. We're gonna get that turned into a lot more than a dirt road eventually. Don't worry. But Sunset Boulevard into the heart of the downtown. I absolutely love it. Next, we have Matthew Hogue, and Hogue brought in lots of suggestions for potential district names, and I like some of these for sure, and we're going to use a couple right now. First thing I want to do is we're going to name our district over here, and let me just click on this bad boy right here, and we're going to change this name. I like Hickory. Hickory Heights sounds fantastic. We're going to go ahead and call that one just like that, Hickory Heights. And also, I liked Pearl. Pearl. Now, we're not going to name this, we're not going to name another district Pearl, but I'm going to name, let me use the words, I'm going to name this right here as Pearl Street. Right down the middle. I like it. We're going to call this Pearl Street. Nice. Very good. Pearl Street. Right there, down the main drag, heading towards the schools. And finally, we have Ed, and Ed says the main thoroughfare should be called Beard Avenue. Great start to the city, buddy. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm really happy with how the city's turning out so far. Main thoroughfare is spoken for, but I'm going to give you Beard Avenue, and we're going to take another main thoroughfare, another main avenue here. We're going to call this Beard Avenue. There you go. Beard Avenue is in the books. Thanks, Ed. And there we have it, folks. The end of episode 2. If you're listening to me now, then that means you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch. This episode took a lot of long hours to put together, but it was a labor of love, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. If you enjoyed, please take a moment to hit that like button and perhaps drop a comment down below to let me know what you think of our new farm and orchard. Also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that button and ring the bell so you can be notified when the next episode of our Farewell City gets released here on YouTube. For now, please be sure to take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.